After a month of work, we finally have our game demo online. I'm very happy with the results so far. I want to share some learnings from this experience that I think are very valuable for people that are venturing into game development and that are also working in teams. So I hope that this is not only useful for me, but also for people that are starting their game development process. I think that coming up with the elevator pitch for your game, it's completely worth it. In terms of, you have to sit down and think, what is your game about? But the story and all the strategic parts of the game, and not only the implementation part, but also what's the market, what is the audience, what's the game, the objective of the game. And by having a clear story, the mechanics come naturally. The story is about a scientist that messes up with time. After an experiment, he got the power to be able to rewind things, specific things in time. He and his daughter get caught by the government and end up in a tech facility prison, and he needs to escape, rescue his daughter and escape from the prison. Coming up with a specific level was a challenge. I would say that as a high technical team, we were concerned of not showing all the things that we developed, we have coded in the prototype. But at the end, having a mechanics playground, it's very useful in terms of exploration, but it doesn't always translate into an effective game demo. And the hard part was to define what was the scope and the objective of that level to develop the prototype for this first release. What I proposed was to sit down all together and start sketching very simple and low fidelity ideas of our level. We decided to go with one of the simple levels. So we defined that the game would be about going out this prison hallway. The question was, what do we need for that? Think carefully on what was the objective, on what we don't need. So we decided not to implement any of the NPCs, nor complex behavior like security cameras. We only went after one button, a box, and a door. I was in charge of the level layout, the building of the actual prison hall, while my colleagues were implementing the behavior of the door, the interaction with the buttons, and the grabbing behavior. And at the end, we added the sound and the shaders. I was very tempting to use Blender to build the level, all the layout, the textures, props and assets for the level. But soon I realized that would have been not the smartest decision in terms of time, because what we wanted to do was testing the general layout, not the final asset. I simply used Pro Builder to build the layout of the prison hall. It turns out pretty well. I would say that is a tool that allows you to go very fast in terms of prototyping a level, of course, like gray box level. And it's that easy that I end up adding textures from the Unity Asset Store. I'm also messing around with the final color mixing and light maps. That was nice because it helped us showcase a more complete game. And something that helped a lot was we divided the implementation into different branches. And that is something that I would definitely do again. And the order in which we developed these features was also useful to avoid code merging conflicts. Although we work in branches, we noticed some synchronization issues with the workspace in Unity when we merge different branches. Some of the components and scripts attached to the game objects were missing. But I would recommend to anyone that is working in teams and is handling merging conflicts is do the merging process together, review the level, go through the scenes with the person that just made the pull request, and review the game. And make sure that all the game objects have their components and the scripts that they're supposed to have. Something that went pretty well and that I recommend to anyone that is entering the testing stage of your game is to build and deploy your game into the web, so you can have a testable, playable, available prototype to test, to send to friends and family and to get feedback on. We released the demo on Itch and we tested it with users on last Friday. And the testing part was something very interesting because how close gameplay testing is to traditional UX UI user testing in a sense that at the end the user it's going through the process of doing a task.
So what's my mission for this? It's just like explore around.
We have an end goal, whether it's to have fun, solve a puzzle, kill an enemy, or just complete a race. At the end, it's a task that can't be evaluated in terms of how well it performs in terms of expectations versus reality.
Keys are you using?
I'm just trying every key.
How would you do it? Which keys would you use?
I don't know. Like, is it an obvious one?
So people were using a lot of different keys, trying to interact with the box and with the door. We also learned that due to our gray environment, objects that have color, they immediately caught user attention.
What are you doing?
I'm moving towards the only color for the box.
That was not planned, and we find that people played more with the box than we expected to. And actually they mentioned that they thought that the box was part or a key component to be able to escape from the prison hall. We'd also add that at least our game in itself couldn't stand alone for the users to play. So we will need to think on different UI elements to make it more usable. The upcoming 2 weeks are gonna be for the business side of the game, the market audience, competitors, like how this game suit their specific needs. And we will be preparing the second demo. The idea is to have another level, a complete game loop. So yeah, that's all for this first month. See you next time.